What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this. Beautiful, delicious, porky, grilled, tender, amazing pork tomahawk. That's right, folks. We got a big old beautiful bone-in pork chop served with a lovely creamy peppercorn sauce with some garlicky green beans. Coming up. This is some meat. Pat 'em dry. And what I've got here is some absolutely beautiful looking pork tomahawks. Got these from my friends over at Porter Road, and when they hit me up a little while ago and said, hey, we're cutting some big beautiful pork tomahawks, you want to give them a try? I said, absolutely, because I love good quality pork. And I know I've said it a bunch in the past, and I'll probably continue saying it moving forward, but the difference that high quality pork makes is a lot greater than you may think. You know, it might be all the years of cooking high quality hogs over at Leroy and Lewis, but the commodity grocery store pork chops absolutely pale in comparison to a really high quality pig, and the stuff you get from Porter Road is right up there with some of the best I've had. I mean, just look at it. The meat is such a darker red color, fat melts, and it just tastes a lot porkier. And especially with a cut like this that you're only taking to medium rare, as opposed to a barbecue cut that you're taking to like 205 or something. Anything you're gonna cook like a steak, I highly recommend splurging for the good stuff, because it is definitely worth it. But taking a look at these chops, they look absolutely awesome. Love that big bone on there. And a little anatomy lesson here is got the baby back rib essentially right there. And this would be the spare rib. Above this would be the belly. And you got this beautiful loin, this beautiful chop. Nice little pig spinalis on there. Nice little fat cap. Feeling nice and tender already. But because this is comprised of a few different muscles, I don't want this thing to fall apart. So I might throw a piece of string on it just for good measure. Probably not necessary, but it'll only take a couple of seconds. Just starting around the bone and get this thing plumped up a little bit just to make, you know, flipping and transport a little bit easier. And tie it off and snip the excess. Again, not really sure if that's necessary. Probably not. And also this is probably going to burn up, but hey, we'll see what happens. And just like that, all tied up, looking absolutely beautiful. So now we got to go ahead and get these seasoned up. And there are many ways to go about cooking a pork chop like this. You know, you could brine them, you could marinate them. One time I took a whole rack, cold smoked it, and then cut it into individual chops and grilled those off. That was very good. But today I want to keep it a little bit more simple and really just treat this like a steak. So I'm going to throw some seasoning on there, let that penetrate for a little bit, throw them on the grill, and probably make a really good sauce to go with them. And my rub of choice today, or anytime I'm throwing a piece of meat on the grill, is Chuds BBQ Bold. It's got the salt, it's got the pepper, it's got the savory, and it's got a little umami kick in there and works out really well on pork or steaks and just tastes really good. But you can do whatever you like. Barbecue rub would work, any seasoning blend, SPG, just salt and pepper, or you could go the sweet route. You know, sugar and pork play pretty well together, but we're gonna be grilling these pretty hot and fast, so I'm trying to avoid sugar. Nice healthy coating. Like a lot of our rubs, they're relatively low sodium, so you can go on pretty heavy without having to worry about over seasoning anything. Flip them over. And we'll get the back side. And of course, we're not going to forget the sides, folks. Twould be a rookie move. Getting excited though, it's been a minute since I had a good pork chop. And just like that, all seasoned up, looking absolutely beautiful. So now I'm going to park these in the fridge for a little bit to let that rub start working on the meat, to make sure everything sticks on and adheres. And ideally, we get some salt penetration into the meat, but I'm not doing a true dry brine, you know, probably maybe an hour, hour and a half, or whenever I'm ready to cook them. And this video is brought to you by Porter Road, so big thank you to them. They've been a sponsor on this channel for years at this point, and I will gladly continue working with them because I genuinely love what they're doing. But if you're unfamiliar, Porter Road is an online butcher shop that specializes in super high quality meats. All their beef is whole carcass dry aged, meaning it's nice and beefy, nice and tender, tastes really good. They've got some great poultry options as well, and of course the pork, which we already talked about a little bit. But I'm telling you, you gotta try some high quality Porter Road pork. It's so good. And it's raised by ranchers who really know what they're doing and care about the animal's life. Not to mention all the butchers at Porter Road are extremely talented as well. You can really tell that they know what they're doing because every cut I've gotten from them is just beautifully butchered. You can tell they're not just lazily ripping things through a bandsaw. And whenever I get a piece of meat from them, I rarely have to do any trimming, which is great, you know? Less trimming for me to have to deal with and just keeps the day moving a little bit quicker. Also, ordering meat online is just super convenient, you know? It's just like going to your local butcher shop. You hop on their website, see what cuts they have available, and they'll ship them right to your door. Steaks and chops like this, shipped fresh, never frozen, to ensure the highest quality. And they've got a wide variety, you know? They got everything from pork butts, beef ribs, briskets, pork ribs, ribeyes, all the familiar steaks, but they also have a lot of the butcher cuts, you know, the secret cuts that you're not going to find at the local grocery store, like hanger steaks, pork jowl, trimmed beef cheeks from time to time. So if you're ever feeling a little bored in the backyard with all the normal cuts, hop on Porter Road and see if they've got something you haven't cooked before. I'm a big fan of Porter Road. All the meats I've cooked from them have been absolutely fantastic, and I can't recommend it enough. And if you want to try Porter Road for yourself, click my link in the description box of this video where you can save 15% off your first order. Again, link down below to check out Porter Road, and using my link, you'll save 15% off your first order. Thank you, Porter Road. And while those steaks chill in the fridge, let's go ahead and get our au poivre sauce knocked out. Started by melting down a knob of butter, and then in with 1 shallot, finely diced up, and get that cooking down. And once those have sweated down and are starting to look translucent, in we go with our garlic. I like a lot of garlic. And get that mixed in as well. And after letting that toast down for about a minute, not too long, smelling incredible already, but now we're gonna go in with some bourbon. Healthy pour. Oh God, 86 the beard. Smells incredible out here. And once all that bourbon has reduced down to almost nothing, in we go with some homemade smoky pork stock. Don't worry, this one's not gonna flame up on us. Next up, we'll go in with some heavy cream, as well as a splash of some Worcestershire sauce, and a little bit of Dijon as well. And get this all stirred in and bring it up to a simmer and let it reduce down a little bit. And once that's reduced down and looking nice and thick, loving the color on that, nothing is burned, stirring the whole time. I'm going with a little bit more cream just to thin it out because I think I might have over-reduced it a little bit. There's also where you can kind of dial in the color, whether you want it to look more brown or more white. But now I'm going to go in with some fresh thyme, as well as some freshly cracked black pepper, nice and coarse. Gotta love the pepper cannon. Makes life so much easier. Love this thing. And we'll get that all stirred in as well. And there are a few more ingredients I'm going to throw in here, but for now I'm just trying to get ahead because we haven't even cooked off the steaks yet, or the chops rather. So I'm going to pop this on the back burner, keep it warm until we are ready to use it, and we'll doctor it up with salt and all the other things right at the end. Speaking of which, these things have been in the fridge for maybe an hour or so. Looks like a lot of the salt has dissolved into the meat and that rub is adhered nicely. And because I'm doing a steak au poivre rendition on these pork tomahawks, I'm gonna add a little bit more freshly cracked black pepper. Although there is a good amount of black pepper on there already, but you know what? Can't have too much. So, God, look how much comes out. It's crazy. Link down below, by the way, if you want to get yourself a pepper cannon. Looking very nice. Get that pat in a little bit. Then we'll get it flipped over, and we'll do the same to the bottoms. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and fire up the pit. Got the old Chud box fired up in grill formation, and we're simply going to cook these off like any other steak. Got a nice healthy bed of charcoal in there, and simply enough. Down we go, and we're going to see how long this string actually lasts for. Go ahead and shut the lid, drop some smoke in there. Then about a minute or two, going to go ahead and give these a little spray just to help with browning. And yeah, the string already burned off of this back one. Still holding strong on the front one though, but let's see what the crust is looking like. Oh yeah, beautiful flaming string in the back. And now we'll get a good sear on this side as well. Ooh, this is looking great, smelling great. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. And these aren't the thickest chops in the world, so this probably shouldn't take too long. Get this fat cap seared off as well, as we don't forget the sides, even when grilling, folks. Yeah, I'm gonna just take this string off. That was a bad idea. I should have known. You know, if Porter Road wanted these tied up, they would have tied them up. And just like that, after a few minutes of grilling on each side, these are looking absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna set them on the cool side of the grill, let them kind of carry over, and see what kind of temps are rocking internal. I'm aiming for around 130 on these, and they'll then probably carry over a little bit. But really, just some quick and easy summer grilling right here, folks. Looking absolutely beautiful. Truly a sight of beauty with that bone for the presentation. Gotta love that. But yeah, now I'm gonna let these rest down a little bit. And while I got this bed of ripping hot charcoal, let's go ahead and knock out some green beans for a quick little side dish. Got this perforated pan from Made In. Love this thing for grilling veg. And because of all the holes in there, we can get these cooked down and get some really good charcoal flavor on them. And after just a few minutes, these are looking nicely charred up, looking nice and soft, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off. And to finish them off, I've got a screaming hot wok here that I'm gonna go in with a big squeeze of some olive oil. And by that I mean avocado oil. I just have it in an olive oil squeezer. See? Maybe quarter cup. And then in with an aggressive amount of garlic. Get that stirred in and frying around. That was like equal parts oil and garlic. And then in with our beans. So you're gonna kind of fry them, cook them through even more, soften them up, and it should get them coated with this nice garlicky oil, and that garlic will hopefully get nice and crispy. I make green beans like this all the time, except I usually just skip the grilling part and just do it all in a wok. But you know, when you got a fire handy, you might as well add a little char flavor. But these are starting to look really nice, and I'm gonna go ahead and season them up with some good old-fashioned Chuds BBQ Gold. Love this stuff on veg. So good. And cook these down until they're looking good, feeling tender, and that garlic is nicely cooked. And after just a couple minutes, I'm gonna drain these off in some paper towels to blot out any excess oil, making sure to get all those garlic crispies out of there. and let these cool down a little bit. Meanwhile, back to our sauce over here, still nice and warm. We're gonna go ahead and finish this off with some green peppercorns. Love these things. They're in a brine, so they're a little acidic, a little salty, which will help brighten this sauce up a little bit because it's pretty heavy, as well as reinforcing that peppercorn flavor. You can do as many or as few as you like, but you know, a tablespoon or two, gotta get you where you need to be. And we'll get that stirred in. Loving the consistency of this sauce, nice and thick, but not too thick. So now I'm gonna go ahead and give it a quick little taste. Oh my God, that is so good. So rich, yet so peppery. One more. It's honestly pretty dialed, but going with a little pinch of salt. And then in a probably unnecessary step to finish this off, I'm gonna mount a little butter in right at the end. But you know, it is a cream sauce, so I don't really think we need to add more fat, but come on, it's a French sauce. We gotta have some butter in there. Well, some more butter, I mean. But at this point, simply taste and adjust. You can dial in the viscosity with more cream, more stock, whatever you like. Taste it for seasoning. Add any more black pepper or anything else that you may see fit. And our beautiful au poivre sauce is done. But coming back to our lovely rested down pork tomahawks, let's go ahead and slice on in and see how these came out. Loving the presentation on these though, with that big bone. Beautiful crust on that, but the first thing I'm gonna do is take it off the bone. That'll be some good gnawing. And then we can go ahead and start getting some slices out. Ooh, that looks juicy right off the bat. I always forget how hard it is to film pork and like turkey on camera, but looking nice and juicy, decent amount of pink in there still, but definitely not like rare. I know people get weird about that, but you don't want to overcook your pork, folks. It's not 1983 anymore. But just a nice juicy pink hue is really what we're going for, and this looks absolutely beautiful. And honestly, it's looking so juicy, but I didn't brine it or anything. Pretty impressed with that, even if it is catching every reflection in sight. And as good as this looks right now, let's go ahead and throw a little sauce right down the middle. Oops. Oh, loving all the pepper in there, all the peppercorns, smelling good. Nice and porky, nice and creamy. And there it is in all its glory, folks. A beautiful bone-in pork tomahawk grilled to perfection, served with a lovely au poivre peppercorn sauce and our garlicky green beans. I'm ready to dive on in. Gotta say, folks, I'm pretty excited about this one. Been a minute since I had a good old pork chop, but this one is looking absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and see how it came out. That's just the plain one too, no sauce or anything, and that is perfect. Perfect salt level, a lot of good grill flavor on there. So tender, so porky, but it eats like a New York strip, you know what I mean? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Good crust. That is fantastic. I was about to say, it's got a real peppery kick to it, but I forgot that I put a bunch of cracked pepper on the outside. I'm like, usually the bold isn't really that pepper heavy, but not mad about it. But as good as that is on its own, let's go ahead and try it with this peppercorn sauce. Whoa. That's a whole nother level right there, folks. It adds just a really nice creaminess and richness because, you know, pork is a lot leaner than beef. Like, if this was a ribeye, it'd probably be a little too heavy with a cream-based sauce like that. But on the pork chop, it works out very nicely. And you get those little pops from those green peppercorns that eat a lot like a caper but don't taste like a caper, you know what I mean? You get that little acidity and that nice fresh peppercorn flavor, but it's not like super briny or too salty or anything. I could eat this a lot because that is absolutely fantastic. And as far as sides go, it really doesn't get much quicker, easier than that. You know, green beans, garlic, and, you know, a seasoning of some sort. But let's see how these are. It's so much better than you'd think it would be with so few ingredients. I'm going to eat all of these. That is fantastic. Probably cooked all the nutrients out of those green beans, but they're so soft, so tender, so flavorful. And those garlic little crispy bits, that's the reason I eat these all the time, because those are just addicting. That's really good. And you gotta love the presentation factor of a tomahawk, whether it's beef or pork, you know what I mean? Because if I walked into a restaurant and ordered a pork chop and it came out with this big beautiful bone and all those shingles of meat with that beautiful peppercorn sauce on top, I'd be pretty pumped about that. It's like the biggest baby back rib I ever had. That is some good gnawing. So porky, so flavorful, not mad about that. Well, now I'm going to polish off at least one, if not both of these tomahawks. But before I do, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic pork au poivre. I highly recommend giving this one a try. You know, if you haven't had a good pork chop in a while, this is a great recipe to try out. You know, it's a super quick cook, gets you outside grilling. That sauce comes together really quickly, and it's a great way to elevate a rather lean pork chop. Although that one definitely had some good fat in it. And I highly recommend picking up a pork tomahawk if you've never cooked one of those before, because it looks great, it tastes great, it's fun to cook, and I'm really full because I just ate a lot of it. But definitely something I'll be doing again in the future. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Team Chud members. Thank you for supporting this channel and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.